Well, continuing the Gerber theme, right here, I have the Gerber Commuter. Now, this is an inexpensive American-made Gerber knife. You can find it at most big box chain retailers. You can find it online, anywhere from about 20 bucks, maybe 25. It only retails for 33, so it's always an inexpensive knife. Now, as I mentioned, this is an American-made knife. It's actually a good looking knife for the money. It doesn't come with a pocket clip. It would be a larger size, just gentleman's knife that you could slip into your pocket, but there's no clip on it. Now, it does have a lanyard hole at the back. It is the polymer frame. Specifically, the frame on this is the glass-filled nylon with the rubber inserts. Now, they inject it into the handle, and so you get a nice feel, and it doesn't peel off, and it's held up pretty well. Now, like I mentioned before, it's American-made, so it is one of the Gerber lines that you would expect a little better quality control and better design. It's 3-inch blade, so that's pretty nice. Overall, it's 7 1/4 inches. So open, it's a fairly large knife. It's basically the larger version of the Gerber US1. Very similar design, but this would be a little bit bigger. It's got the nail nick, but as you can see, instead of using the nail nick like this, an old school knife, I can actually use my thumb and get it to open. Now, the 420HC stonewash finish blade, 3 inches. I like it. It's a good looking blade. Feels good in the pocket. It's not very heavy, being that it is the glass filled nylon, or just a polymer handle. You don't get as much pinch as you do with the Gerber Order. So the Commuters, honestly, the handle's pretty stout. Now, the problem I have with this knife, and I do have a problem with it, it's not the lockup, because it locks up pretty solid. It's got a little bit of play, not a lot. The knife is sharp. The handle's pretty good. Not every day do I need a pocket clip. Sometimes I do like a knife that I can slip all the way in my pocket, so I don't have to have it somewhat open carry. Fits real nice in my wife's purse, as a matter of fact, as well. But jimping's nice. Nice smooth jimping. So I keep talking about all these nice aspects of the knife. What could be wrong with it? Well, Gerber's design. Now, closed, it's pretty nice, but if you notice, when I pinch it, it clicks a little bit. No big deal. All knives do that, right? Well, not like this, they don't. So I'll pinch, 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 and I created a flat spot on the blade. If I hold it right here, right behind where my finger is, I don't know that the camera will pick it up. But if I slowly turn it, it'll probably catch it. The blade actually comes in contact with the locking mechanism in the handle. Now, doing that, it's fine. But if you put it in your pocket and you actually cause it to pinch like this, that is when the blade actually comes in contact with this pin that's part of the hinge on the action inside the handle. Now, people have complained to Gerber, and right here's my flat spot, creates a small burr. Gerber has really not responded to it. I mean, they haven't said anything about it. They haven't recalled it or changed the design. I don't know. What could they do? They could have done a couple things. They could actually do a slight recurve on this knife. That would fix the problem, because then you wouldn't be coming in contact with the edge. If you just gave it an ever so slight recurve, that would make it a really cool looking knife too. I mean, it's a good looking blade now, but if you gave it a little bit of recurve on that belly right there, man, that'd be cool. You could also go with the Gerber style and do serrations. If you do the edges just right and make that the gap, guess what? It won't collide with that. You can't really move the pin, because the way that the action works in this knife, you would run into the problem of it wouldn't have the right leverage. Lastly, one of the things you could do, See how the blade comes down and goes in contact right there? Instead of making this so hollow in the bottom of the frame, some people call it a canoe frame, you could actually put a stopper right there at the front. So whenever the tip comes down, instead of collapsing, you'd have a stopper. That would really fix it. You wouldn't have to do any work to the blade at all. Just on the handle design, have a little bit more polymer right there, or glass-filled nylon. You could even have one of these injected molded rubber stoppers in there, because this material is really hard. It's nice. I mean, it's got a good texture, but if you injected a little bit right there, whenever you close this knife, it would fit right into it and it wouldn't pinch. Overall, I like this knife. I like this knife as just a simple little knife. I am a bit perturbed that, once again, Gerber, you know, it's the little things. No company's perfect. You know, there's been some things that I've complained about Buck, but not near as many things as Gerber. Just feels like sometimes Gerber gets a little bit lazy. They could have, you know, you can see how the back of this handle right here is designed. They could have exaggerated it a little bit and actually brought it a little more into the cutout for the handle to prevent that. Otherwise, the feel of the knife, you can see that it fits in my hand very well. I have, you know, regular medium-sized hands, so if you have larger hands, the knife probably will feel small, but it's going to feel a lot better than the Gerber US1, the little brother to this. So, if you're looking for an American-made knife and you're willing to put up with the little nagging thing of having a burr in your blade, you could get one of these Gerber Commuters for 20 bucks. Just make sure that you don't pinch the blade. And putting it in your pocket, I've noticed it will pinch it a little bit. But I can do it with a one-handed action, even though it has no cutouts or any type of thumb assist. It's kind of cool. I mean, just a flat blade like that I can flip with my thumb. So it's got a smooth action. Required just a tiny bit of oil, as does any knife. The lockup on it, you do get that safety catch, so that if you disengage the knife, it doesn't come down and end up cutting your hand. See that? So, thoughtful looking knife, just needs a little more thought into the design. So, get yourself one if you would like one. $20, as I mentioned before, US made 420 HC, glass-filled nylon handle with this rubber injected molding. Waiting for them to come out with different color. I'd like to see this in green with the black. And as a matter of fact, the next Gerber I have to talk about on my Gerber weekend will be a Gerber Eat It with green. Look forward to that. Happy hunting, and I hope you find one that doesn't have a tiny flaw. Thank you. Have a fantastic day.